What's up, guys? So today is January 16th and I am pretty excited because that means tomorrow I am going to Thailand for vacation. Um, Gonna fly to Bangkok and then we're heading down to this little island where I've been a couple of times before. Total paradise. The fishing is pretty good and it's filled with these cool people. Gonna hang out with my buddy Bas, my buddy O, and Gala, and we're all going fishing and we're gonna have a great time. Right now, I am on Mission Impossible. I'm just hanging out here on the floor and I'm trying to decide what fishing gear to pack. So, I got all my shit up from the basement, or some of it, and I'm trying to figure out what to take. But here's what I got so far. For lures, I got all these little small ones, X-Wraps, subsurface with the bill in different sizes. I think I even got this little tiny one. Yeah, here. Tiny little X-Wrap. Countdowns. A little Rapala tail dancer. This is a Japanese lure. Beef freeze. I got this in Bangkok the last time I was in Thailand. It's a really good lure. These ones also Japanese. I'm gonna take these. And some other X-Wraps, different sizes. And these are all good for they call them groupers on the island. I don't know what they are. Coral trouts, coral cod maybe. But yeah, groupers, and they'll hit stuff like this. Small lures that you cast from, we go fishing from the kayak. Last year we also caught some snappers from the kayak. That was pretty cool. And then I'm taking soft baits, soft plastics, different sizes. Check this one out. How good does that look? This is a shad tease from Vesting, a Swedish company, I think. I think it's meant for pike, but I mean, I think anything really is gonna hit that. Anything with teeth. Some smaller soft plastics like these ones, Fox, Savage Gear. And for bigger lures, I'm gonna take stuff like this. Bigger X-Wraps for casting, and then we're going trolling also, I think, from a boat. So countdown, this is a countdown 14, I think, Rapala Magnum. Look at this color, man. And I got another one, Shad Wrap here. Last time I was in Gojam, that's the name of the island, I actually hooked up to something big on one of these. Got smaller ones like these ones for casting also. Taking a squid lure. It's missing a feather there. Good excuse to get some new ones. You probably know this if you're fishing yourself. It's just such a stressing when you have to pack, but you can't take everything because you want to take everything. And this year also I'm bringing these ones. Savage Gear Alien Eel, the 40 centimeter version, as a present for my buddy O and my buddy Bas. They're the guys I go fishing with on the island, and I've been talking to them a lot about this lure in this specific color, because me and Mr. Noodle, I think this is the lure we caught the most pike on here back home, and really big ones too. And I think it's gonna work quite well for like barracuda or I don't know, big mackerel maybe. I think it's gonna be fun to check it out in tropical waters. even though it's made for like pike fishing in Denmark. I think if you change the hooks to something that could deal with salt water, I think it's going to be a perfect lure. What else do I got? I got small singles for the smaller lures when you're casting in like on top of the rocks so they don't get snagged as much. Swivels. I got for leader material, I got this tri-line fluorocarbon. It's I don't know how much is that. That's 27 kilograms breaking strength. Oh, here we go. 0.8 millimeters. So pretty thick and pretty heavy duty. But I think you need that with the bigger fish. And then for the lighter setups, I got this 0.49 mils fluorocarbon from Savage Gear. I'm not that used to fishing saltwater, especially not the tropical stuff, so it's all a bit like experimenting for me. All the lures are, or most of my lures are, you know, just stuff I would take to the lake to fish for pike or perch, but I mean, so far it's worked pretty well when I've been there fishing with the guys. So for rods, I am taking these ones. These are my Savage Gear Roadrunner rods. I have a 7-foot and an 8-foot. 7-foot is really light, a really light setup, and the 8-foot rod is pretty heavy duty. I use this on the lake also. Casting weight is up to 80 grams, but for trolling you could troll really big lures. I use it on the lake for stuff like this. Big lures and even bigger soft plastics also. The 7-foot is really nice, really good, strong 7-foot. These rods are the best rods, value for money wise, that I've ever had. They're really versatile and really strong, and they cast really good, and they're super strong even though they're 4-piece rods. For reel, for the light setup, I'm gonna take this one. It's just a cheap Yakuma reel. I think it's called, yeah, Sema. I don't know how to pronounce it, but really good reel. It has actually a pretty good drag system. It's not meant for saltwater at all, but I've used it in saltwater a couple of times and no problem, as long as you clean it out and you give it some grease afterwards. It's pretty good. And then for the bigger rod, last year I brought just a bigger version of the Yakuma Kema, but I hooked up, we were trolling, and I hooked up to something really big on this reel, and it just completely smoked me. I got spooled in like less than a minute, completely spooled, and it fucking sucked because, yeah, one, you don't want to lose the fish, and two, it's like you always feel guilty when you lose your lure, or the line break and you lose the lure in the mouth of the fish still. So it was using a lure like this, and yeah, but the reel just couldn't handle it. But I don't want that happening, so this year I went out and I got myself a little Christmas present. And so for the 8-foot rod, I got this bad boy. Check that out. This is the Pen Slammer 4500. It's just a beautiful reel. And I think this is the most expensive and best quality reel that I've ever had. It's not that expensive actually, but it's what I can afford in this caliber. But yeah, this is a really strong reel. It holds, I think, 300 meters with the type of braid I have on now, and the drag is super strong, and it's made for saltwater fishing. So this year the big ones, unless they're super big, aren't getting away. I mean, I would love to take all my lures, but I can't. I have to pack some clothes also, so I think this is it. I'm gonna go 2 boxes, one for the smaller lures, this one for the bigger ones, and soft plastics. I'm gonna bring those for the guys to try out trolling for barracuda. Gonna bring my pliers, my knife, leaders, and then these 2 reels. This beautiful pen slammer and the Akuma Kama, and then the 2 rods. Oh, I still want it. You know what? I'm gonna take this one also. I love this lure.